Okay, so I have some more people that want to come up and share. Come on down. I'm womaning the soapbox today, and we welcome your comments and your expressions of gratitude for this beautiful afternoon and why you're here to share Veggie Pride 2013, organized by Pam Teisler Rice. And also, I just wanted to make a little promo here. Those of you that go to Peace Food Cafe up on 82nd in Amsterdam, well, it's become so popular, guess what? They're opening up another Peace Food Cafe right down here on 11th Street. And I have the address here in my pocket. I'll let this gentleman speak first, and I'll share the address of the new Peace Food Cafe. Your name is? Ben. Okay, here's Ben. He's going to share some comments about why he is vegan. Here you go.
Thank you. So I became a vegetarian in August of 2010, and about 7 months ago I graduated to becoming a vegan. Thanks, honey. Thanks, everybody. And the best way I can say why I made these choices, why I became a vegan and a vegetarian, is I exposed myself to the truth, and I allowed myself to accept the truth. And this process started before I even thought of becoming a vegetarian. I guess you could say it started when I became an environmentalist, or I became green, because there's plenty of politicians out there who don't want to allow you to expose yourself to the truth that climate change is real and it's happening. And obviously it's getting easier to expose yourself and to believe that truth. So I say it that way because I don't want one reason to conflict with another. That was just the first reason for me. The environmentalist reason was the first reason to become vegetarian. And it was going to a farm sanctuary and seeing the ambassadors, the pigs, the cows, that stand for hundreds of millions of those animals that are not loved, are not seen. And that exposure taught me about the connection between the climate and food production, and it eventually allowed me to become a vegetarian. I look back, and it was actually the second time that I went to a farm sanctuary, and I spent the day with animals in their cages. And I look back, and I think, why the first time? Why did I go home and I had a hamburger like the next day? What happened? What happened to me? And I realized after the second time that I didn't allow myself to fully believe that that was the truth that was going on. And I didn't allow myself to believe that I could do something about it. And thankfully, the second time, I pushed myself to be vegetarian for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, I said that was way too easy. I did it for another 2 weeks, and I've been vegetarian ever since. Thanks. And now I went on to become a vegan 7 months ago because I visited again, actually, and I got tutored on the connection between dairy and the meat industry, that I was now opened my eyes, and I was now truthful with myself that the meat industry was bad, so I was able to realize that the dairy industry was bad. I never thought that, well, cows need to be impregnated to give milk. I just thought cows always gave milk. That's what cows did. But there's a man-made structure where cows are artificially inseminated on a regular basis so that we can have milk. And of course, they will give birth to males who have nothing for the dairy industry, and that becomes the veal that we eat. So just that's how I went from vegan, from environmentalist to vegetarian to vegan, and everything else that I've opened my eyes to forks over knives, and all the healthy reasons why veganism is better for you, all the animal suffering, it's all coalesced. And I don't think any of these reasons are more important than the others. I think they're all paths to start by where you can become a vegetarian and vegan and open your mind to the truth. And that's really what it's all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for sharing. You know, I'm sure everybody has their individual stories. I'm sure you have just different reasons for going vegan, whether it's environmental reasons, health reasons. I hear so many stories about people that had health conditions, and once they went vegan, they healed themselves. It's true, people. It's documented. You can go online. You can find Dr. Milton Mills. You can find Dr. Michael Greger. He has a health website where he talks about the different issues of a plant-based diet. And there's so much information that's been documented about people that have had high blood pressure, heart conditions, and they've healed themselves with a plant-based diet. Hey, by the way, how many of you get Netflix? Who gets Netflix?
Woo!
Guess what, guys? Vegicated is on Netflix.
Saw it last weekend.
What?
Saw it last week.
It was on last week?
No, I saw it last week.
Oh, you saw it last week? Yeah, Vegicated is on Netflix. You got to check this movie out, okay? I remember when Marissa Miller was filming it at Summerfest. I was watching her run around interviewing people. Little beautiful blonde Marissa Miller. And now here it is, Vegicated. It's on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it yet, treat yourself to it, okay? It's very worthwhile seeing, all right? Vegicated on Netflix. Check it out. I couldn't believe it when I saw it come up. I was like, yes, yes, all right? So you can check it out. It actually goes through all the issues, the health issues, environmental issues. I mean, really, if you say you're an environmentalist and you're still eating meat, newsflash, you're not an environmentalist. The worst thing you can do for our planet is consume flesh, is consume meat. That's the worst thing you can do. It's oxymoron. Environmentalist, eating meat. It doesn't work. That's the worst thing you can do for the environment. Okay? So educate yourself. There's plenty of information out there. If you go online, type in Google. Google's the best teacher. You ask Google a question, you get an instantaneous response. There are so many vegan recipes online. Knock yourself out. You'll have so much fun. You're only as limited as your creativity. Oh, look at this wonderful costume. Hello? Who's the lady with, is that a vegan Statue of Liberty? Lady Gaga? Who are you? Mother Nature, come up and have a few words. Come, Mother Nature, come. Just 2 words, come on up. I love your costume. You have to come up here. Come on, come on, come on. All right, here she is, a.k.a. what's your real name? Tari, a.k.a. Mother Nature. Is this costume beautiful? Give her a hand. This is gorgeous. I love it. Mother Nature, come on up. You can't fool with Mother Nature. Come on up here. Come on up here. That's great too, but Mother Nature, come up here. Come on. Come on down. Carrie? Tari. I love it. It's creative. She did this herself, right? It's beautiful. Share with us why you're a vegan, why you're here today.
Well, actually, my sister is a vegan. I am a vegan wannabe. I eat vegan when I can. I do stuff that's vegan when I can. I am a vegan wannabe. That's the true vegan right there, the one that won first prize. Yeah, but I'm all behind it, and I'm trying, and it's happening. I've been a vegetarian for 5 years, so we're working on it. Mother Nature doesn't want you to eat the animals, huh? Okay.
All right, well, let's hear it for going on the vegan path. It will happen, you'll see. Hey, I just want to put out a little advertisement here, a little promotion. If you haven't experienced Peace Food Cafe up on 82nd in Amsterdam, you must go. They have the most luscious vegan desserts, and they're so popular they just opened another restaurant downtown. And the address here, take out your pens and papers, folks. Peace Food Cafe, 41 East 11th Street at University. Okay? Peace Food Cafe, 41 East 11th Street at University. If you have not experienced their cuisine, you must go. It's wonderful, nourishing, delicious, well-presented, palatable food. Okay? Peace Food. That's what we want, Peace Food. Peace Food. Let's hear it for Peace Food. piece of food. Thank you, Mother Nature. Don't mess with Mother Nature. Mother Nature wants you to take care of the animals that share our planet, not hurt or kill them. We are their guardians. It is our responsibility to treat them with respect and justice and compassion. Okay? We have the first prize winner here. Know your cuts of meat. You know, last year I saw a great costume. I am not a chicken nugget. Where did they get that from? Nugget. I'm not a chicken nugget. How about spare ribs? Do pigs really have spare ribs? Do we have spare ribs? That's like the most ridiculous phrase. Spare ribs? Pigs don't have spare ribs. Were they born with those ribs because they need them? Like we have our ribs because we need them. Their body parts should remain intact. They're not ours to exploit. Some humans seem to think that everything on this planet was put there for us to take, to consume, to exploit. They're ours to share. Thank you, Mother Nature. Not to exploit. All right, so I'm Lori, and I'm really happy to be here today on this beautiful March afternoon. The sun is out. It's pleasant, a little chilly, but not too bad. We've got a nice group of people out here today. I'm surprised this whole park is not filled with like-minded people. If they knew what we knew, they'd be here today, right? If they knew what we knew, if they discovered what we've discovered, if they were willing to explore the wonderful vegetarian cuisine, they'd be here today. We've got lots of literature, great vegan treats, so give yourself walk around, talk to like-minded people, give yourself a great experience here today. At the Veggie Pride Parade 2013, we have an open mic and a soapbox. Anyone's welcome to come up here and share their views, why they are going vegan, why they're here today, why they've made the compassionate choice for a vegan lifestyle to eating a more plant-based diet. And let me tell you something, everybody thinks it's so hard to approach a vegan lifestyle. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's fun. You meet great people. You go to wonderful potlucks and restaurants. It's fun. You discover foods you never knew about before. I had never tried quinoa, mango, or papaya, smoothies, all different types of legumes and vegetables, which I've learned to make from scratch, lentils, kidney beans. And what's the question you always get when you're vegetarian?
Protein.
Where do you get your protein from? Newsflash, there are so many sources of protein. It's only as limited as your imagination. You can get protein from garbanzo beans, from one of my favorite types of seeds, pinoli nuts, pine nuts. Have you ever made a pesto sauce with pine nuts? Out of this world. Pine nuts have a sweet flavor. They're so satisfying. After you have a pesto with fusilli, those are the little squiggly macaronis, fusilli, with the pesto sauce and pine nuts, you will feel so satisfied. You will feel so good. Who's that who's waving at me over there? Heidi? Oh my gosh! Who's that? Isaiah? Is that your baby? When? Wow! Come on up and say hello. How are you? Heidi! Yes, we have a vegan baby here, Isaiah, with his mommy, Heidi. Isaiah was the vegan prophet in the Bible. Wow, it's so good to see you. Okay, share with us. Yeah. Yeah, wow.
Some of you guys heard this view over by the other stage when we did the costume contest, but I've been a vegan for 23 years and just had a baby at 42 years old. And a lot of people say you can't have kids when you're that old, but when you're a vegan and you eat healthy for this long, you stay younger. So living proof. And Isaiah was the reason I named my baby Isaiah is because Isaiah was the prophet in the Bible that talked about not eating animals, not walking on the skins of animals. He was hence the vegan prophet. He also is the prophet that talked about, some of you might remember this quote from the Bible. He took a sword and he broke the sword in half and said we should fight war no more, and instead he turn our swords to plows and plow thy fields. So Isaiah's quote still resonates resonate as really powerful all these thousands of years later. So that's why Isaiah is named after him. And his middle name is Samson. Samson, you might recall, was a Nazarite, so they're not allowed to touch corpses, so they were also vegan. And he was the strongest man in the Bible. So again, vegan power, vegan strength. And thank you all for coming out today. Thank you, Lori.
Woo!
Go ahead. I've been friends for 20
Someone walking nearby here. I don't like you to sound like me.
I love it. So many familiar faces, people I haven't seen here in a long time. Heidi was living out in California, just came back to New York with her little family. All right, so we've got a lot of like-minded people. I think somebody else stepped up, wanted to share with us comments why she made the vegan lifestyle choice and why she's here today. And your name is? Julia? Juliet. Okay, so here's Juliet. Okay, come on down.
I became a vegetarian about 14 years ago, and what really set it off for me was I had my own cats for the first time. I lived on my own, and these were the first pets that were really mine instead of the family's pets. And once I had them, I realized I have so much power over them. And I chose to be kind to my pets, but other people could choose to be unkind. And once I saw that, I realized how much power humans have over animals. And I understood this is not right, that humans have that much power over these other beings that can't give consent, that can't agree to what we do to them. And so I was a vegetarian for 10 years. I went to Woodstock Farm Sanctuary, and they gave me the truth. They gave me the facts about, you know, the organic eggs I was eating and the organic milk I was drinking, and they really opened my eyes. And then from that point on, I was a vegan, and that was about 4.5 years ago. I think the most important thing to understand or to see is that the moral path is that we must accept these other beings have their own autonomy, and that we don't have a right to direct them, and we exploit them, and we use them, and we force them to serve us. And once we accept that, that is an immoral point of view. Not the way it's been, or humans do this, or humans naturally do this. This is unnatural. Don't we love our own autonomy? Don't we love our own freedom? Don't we want to run our own lives? Then why do we have the right to direct other beings' lives? We don't. We don't have that right. We need to look inward and understand and see ourselves in the other. The other is the animal. Once we recognize, once we see ourselves in the other, then we cannot oppress. We cannot oppress. I think once we come to that conclusion within ourselves, then it hurts us to hurt the other. It gives us pain to give pain to the other. I want to be a good person. I don't want to give pain to the other. So that's why I chose to be vegan. And that's why I choose to give a vegan message. And that's why when you know that feeling, I'm sure all you vegans do, when you hear something casual about meat or about eggs or about animals, and it hurts on the inside because you can't stop it right then and there. You can't stop that pain and oppression right then and there. And you cry on the inside or the outside. I know that feeling. We all have that feeling. But we have to remember, we came to that point too. Other their ignorance, they can come to enlightenment. We're all ambassadors of enlightenment. We all have it within us to shine that light and let them know in a kind and compassionate way, you are in ignorance, and I will kindly and lovingly bring you to enlightenment. So we have to remember that in our darkest time, when it doesn't seem like progress or these ag laws are stepping back on, what needs to move forward, that we are ambassadors of enlightenment, and we need to give our love and compassion to others so they can see what we see. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was certainly a very passionate discourse. And a lot of us get really angry like that, and they're like, why does this have to continue? This is so raw. You see the images. You've seen the farm sanctuary videos. You've seen forks over knives. And you say, how can this continue? Why can people continue to eat this way? Inflicting such cruelty on innocent beings that we share our planet with. It makes us all sometimes feel like giving up. But you can't give up. That's when you have to be even stronger. You have to stick to your convictions. You have to talk to people. You have to educate people. You have to share your vegetarian cuisine. Make it attractive. Make it interesting. Make it delicious. So that people say to you, how do you do this? How do you prepare this wonderful dish? I didn't know it could be done. It's our job, because we know, because we've educated ourselves, it's our job to educate others so that they see that the choice for a vegetarian lifestyle can be theirs as well. So thank you all that came out here today. It's really good to see so many like-minded people, see your smiles and your positive energy. We need to be with each other. We need to share. It's what sustains us. It's what keeps us going. When you feel like giving up, get with some other vegan like-minded colleagues and friends. It will sustain you. It will keep you going, because this is an uphill battle. And we're going to continue. We're not going to give up. Okay? We need to tell others we're not going to give up. Okay? We've made our choice. We know we feel better. And we want to share a healthy lifestyle with others. Okay, so I'm Lori. I'm up here today. It's an open mic on the Soapbox. You're welcome to come up and share your views, share your opinions, your comments while you're here today. Maybe you want to share a wonderful, delectable recipe with us. Maybe you want to tell us what caused you to make the turn to a vegetarian lifestyle. Whatever it is, come on down and share with us. And this is going to be continuing today till 5.
Am I taking this?
Hi there, what's your name? Carmela. All right, here's Carmela. Another passionate vegan. So great to see everybody out here today. Okay, Carmela.
Thank you. Woo! Go vegan! So hi, I'm Carmela. I'm a native New Yorker. I'm the mother of 2 cats, the wife of a man who calls himself Artichoke, and we have a food blog called thefoodduo.com, and I go by the name Macaroon on there. And going vegan actually was a bit of a 2-step process. It started with me actually going through repeated bouts of food poisoning from chicken over the span of 6 months. And being someone that knew... Can you hear? Okay. So...
We can't hear it now. Keep...
Okay.
They need to be able to...
I know, but we need to find a balance. Y'all turned it way down. Here.
Alright. Okay. So, from being sick over a 6-month period, just did so much damage to me, and it was all coming from meat and poultry, and it sickened me. I learned, I've been reading, I had learned many things about the food industry over many years, and I just kind of ignored it. I was one of those that waited until something happened to me in order to do something. And with the help of my husband, who had actually been vegetarian off and on for many years, he actually helped me and said, why don't you just try it? It may just make you feel better. And shortly after going vegetarian, I was feeling better. I was glad not to be missing work because I was balled over in pain. I was glad that I could eat food and feel comfortable and knowing that it was good for me and it was actually doing something to help me. And after about 2 years
I just decided, well, why don't I try going vegan? My husband hadn't thought of it, and I said, okay, let's try it. And it actually wasn't that difficult of a transition. It actually took one day to get rid of all the dairy in the house and the eggs and just say, I'm going to go for it. And it's been over 2 years, and I feel great. I haven't had any stomach issues, and, you know, things have been good. And by being vegan, I've learned more about food. I've learned about different kinds of produce. I've learned about different ways of cooking. And with our food blog, we do have a ton of recipes on there. Like, I think later on today, I have my recipe for greens. I do a three greens mix usually. And last week, my husband made stuffed shells with a cashew ricotta, which I hope he'll put the recipe up soon. And I think it's just been wonderful. And as a pet parent, I think it's great. My little cat does not like meat. So, other than the dry food, because he needs the taurine, he loves bananas, he loves vegetables, he actually likes tofu.
Soy yogurt.
Cat. Soy yogurt? He loves soy yogurt. And our vet is perfectly fine with it. So it's been quite amazing to see how much my life has changed just by making a simple switch. And that's it.
Proud of you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Wow. These stories are so wonderful, so uplifting. Wonderful. They have a food blog with recipes that they're willing to share with the rest of us. It's so easy to find vegan recipes. Just Google it.